Across the country, newspaper speculation was intense. How would it all end? What would happen to Audrey and Richard? Could they stay together? Surely those BBC bosses wouldn't allow Richard to disappear back into the world of trade, or even to Czechoslovakia.
Come along, Marjorie, cheer up.
I'm sorry. It just won't be the same when you've gone. Oh, gosh.
Interest in the conclusion of the story was so high that the producers even took steps to prevent leaks to the press from the last ever studio recording.
We made the decision that we would swear the audience to secrecy. Because I just thought it would be nice for the audience, who are, after all, the licence payers who had actually paid for the programme, to be the first people to actually see it, rather than to see clips of it or read about it in a newspaper.
With excitement at fever pitch with the secrecy surrounding the final episode, a record number of viewers tuned in to see if their dreams had come true.
Richard! Oh, I'm so glad you could come.
You look absolutely wonderful.
Thank you. I remember the very final episode. We cleared the place of photographers. We had a closed set.
There were over 55% of the population watching it. There had to be, because there was, in excess of 27 million viewers.
After 21 episodes of Will They, Won't They, the waiting was over.
Audrey, what would you say if I told you I was thinking of chucking the business?
Oh. I think I'd say something like, why didn't you come back here and marry me?
You see, what was that last bit?
Marry me.
Do you mean that?
I never say things I don't mean.
I didn't think you'd want me without the manor.
I wouldn't have married you with the manor.
But now it's all right.
Yes, because I've got the manor.
Peter Spence didn't want to write the last episode because he didn't want them to get married. So I asked Christopher Bond, who'd worked on the entire series anyway, to write the last episodes because he knew all the characters. He was a fine writer himself. And Peter and I had a big battle, which we resolved afterwards.
The audience had the ending they wanted, even if the writer didn't. So, fast forward, no messing about, to the big day itself.
I remember standing on that wonderful big staircase. The whole cast was there. And I turned to Angela and I said, Angie, let's enjoy this. This is the last time we're going to be the youngest people in a television studio. And it was.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bride and groom. The bride and groom.
My one regret is when we stopped it is that I was left with a notebook full of ideas and lines and possibilities of things that I knew that I was never going to use.
Yes, viewers, she married him, and so the story ended. Peter Spence closed the Grantley Manor Visitors book and went on to write for Hunter Davis's series Father's Day, and a formidable pair of ladies, Patricia Routledge and Patricia Hayes.
What's this? Last waltz to rupture? Last waltz to rapture. Oh, yes. Same difference at your age. Just be careful.
It was astonishing after To the Manor Born. There was an assumption made about me as a writer, was that I was the man who wrote about the upper classes, and for some reason that I could write for women. The result of that was that I got invitations out to lunch with some famous, glamorous women who wanted me to write for them on the understanding that I had some kind of inside knowledge as to how women's minds ticked. I have absolutely no idea at all.
After To the Manor Born, Angela Thorne got tough, impersonating Mrs. Thatcher on the West End stage in Anyone for Dennis?
Obviously, I don't give a damn about election pledges, but I am rather committed to the idea of no U-turns.
You'll know who's who, because she's much younger and much prettier than I am, and much slimmer.
If you ever lay your grubby paw...
And she put the up into 3 up, 2 down.
If you want some reading matter of a morning, I suggest you make your own arrangements. I'm sure the newsagent would be only too pleased to deliver the Beano.
All during To the Manor Born, Peter Bowles was 3-timing the viewers, as well as being De Vere in the Manor. he was Guthrie Featherstone with Rumpole, and on the ward as Archie Glover.
It had a very strong fan base with young people, 7 or 8, 9, 10.
Hello, son.
Don't call me that.
And so these fully grown men often say, you were in HAPPY. They very often call it that. Oh, I love that programme.
Oh, do stop raving on, you ridiculous old man.
I remember the producer coming in saying, look, we've beaten Coronation Street, we're #1.
Everyone knows my name around here.
In 1983, Penelope Keith and Gareth Gwenlyn worked together again on Sweet 16. And then Penelope went on to another John Howard Davis hit, Executive Stress, starring alongside Geoffrey Palmer.
I did a first series with Geoffrey, and then we came to the second series, and Geoffrey was working and couldn't do it.
And she thought they were going to cancel the series. And I said, I'll do it.
It's nice to have you back. It was very, very different because, A, we were totally different people. We were both in business. And we were married as opposed to courting. That's a sweet old-fashioned word.
But without the frisson of uncertainty, the viewing figures for Penny and Peter's marriage weren't as big as they had been for their romance. Gareth Gwenlyn cast Penelope Keith as a grandmother in Next of Kin, and in the 1990s oversaw Only Fools and Horses, which replaced To the Manor Born as the most-watched sitcom ever. And now he's back in the countryside with Boise in Green, Green Grass. Penelope Keith has most recently been on the run with June Brown in the comedy drama Marjorie and Gladys, while Peter Bowles has reverted to villainy in Jericho, delighting himself and the ever-discerning London cabbies.
Is this a raid? I'm getting taxi drivers now saying, cool, blimey, so I didn't know you could do that. Oh, God, that was good. You know, I thought you only played posh parts. Piss off.
And Peter Spence is now writing for ITV's Rosemary and Thyme. But 20 years after the original idea, he was finally to see To the Manor Born made for radio as originally planned. The cast included Penelope Keith and Angela Thorne, with Keith Barron in the role of De Vere. The Manor is now a hotel, but for many millions of viewers it will always be not only Audrey's rightful home, but also home to sitcom's most romantic cliffhanger.
It's a feeling of womanhood.
Well, if that's how you feel, I'm surprised you can get up in the morning. That dog has a highly developed critical sense.
It did look back with warmth and nostalgia to another era, and I think it took a lot of people with it who were happy to watch it. I think they'd want to go back there.
I'm very surprised and very flattered indeed that after 25 years or so that people still remember it.
I was pleased all the way through. I had a big grin on my face all the time. I mean, it was wonderful. It changed my life. I think it would look very nice over there.
Yes, just over here. I remember reading one day about the enormous viewing figures. I think it was something like 27 or 28 million. And I thought, gosh, what does that mean?
Finish! Sit on! Quick, sit on! Hurry, be quiet!
There are some things. I know what it means. It means every other person in the country was watching this programme.
How much is this toilet roll pack?
Which size?
Special offer, jumbo size.
I look back on To the Manor Born with lots of affection. I was delighted for Gareth and Penny and Peter and everybody connected with the programme. But I was also delighted for myself because I was responsible for it, so I was able to bask in their reflected glory.
It's all been most enjoyable.